Before I get into the meat and potatoes of today's video, I'd like to read you guys off a couple of names off this list here that will help me explain my point as this video progresses. Pat Benatar, Dave Matthews Band, Depeche Mode, the Doobie Brothers, Whitney Houston, Judas Priest, Kraftwerk, MC5, Motorhead, 9 Inch Nails, Biggie Smalls aka the Notorious B.I.G, Shaka Khan and Rufus, Todd Rundgren, Soundgarden, T-Rex, and Thin Lizzy. Those were the names of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2020 nominees list. Keyword there, nominees. They're not formally inducted, but they're on the list to be considered to be inducted for this year's Hall of Fame ceremony. When I saw this list, I drooled. I drooled at the potential of what could be such a fantastic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Finally, guys like Motorhead, guys like Judas Priest, other bands that even I may not like, but certainly respect, Dave Matthews Band, 9 Inch Nails probably would get their due. Pat Benatar, a fantastic rock, light rock, singer of her age. What did we get? We got an absolute abomination of a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees list. Now, this is the official names I'm about to read off to you of people who are about to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in just about a month or two. Depeche Mode. Great choice. They're one of the... I heard they're one of the biggest, rock bands of like the late 80s and 90s. They're like U2 levels of big, and that's pretty big. The Doobie Brothers. Fantastic choice. Whitney Houston. Don't fucking understand that whatsoever. Great singer. Wonderful voice. Not a single fucking song could be considered rock. And I'd also make the claim that she's the queen of the crack whores, but that's another story for another time. Biggie Smalls, aka the Notorious B.I.G. Not rock and roll whatsoever. T-Rex. Never fucking heard of them. And of course, there are two guys for an award, the Ahmet Ertegun Award. John Landau and Irving Azoff. I think they're big producers and or managers in the industry. And again, congrats to them. I don't know the significance of the award, so I'm not going to hate on that too much. But that list alone just fucking infuriates me. Other than the Doobie Brothers, 9 Inch Nails, and Depeche Mode, there's not a single fucking, group or singer or group that I either know or I think deserves to be in there. Again, Whitney Houston, fantastic voice. Probably some of the most famous songs of the 80s to come out were by her. But she's not rock and roll. Now, some people will argue that there is like one song that sort of has a rock influence because it kind of has like that rock tempo. But one song out of the dozens and dozens that she's had do not classify her as any sort of rock artist. Now, if this was like R&B or just like an overall like Grammy Hall of Fame, I'd be cool with this. But this is the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Biggie Smalls. And I'll be the first to tell you, I respect the fuck out of Biggie Smalls, aka the Notorious B.I.G. I love his music. I love his raps. The rap industry needs people like Biggie, and he was a guy that was taken from us far too soon because thanks to his death, the industry just hasn't been the same since the whole East Coast, West Coast beef that resulted in Tupac and Biggie's death. And Tupac is another person that went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and again, like, great rapper, one of the most famous rappers to ever be put on God's green earth, but he's not rock and roll. Like, if the rap industry wanted to have like a rap Hall of Fame and put them in there, I'd be totally okay with that. Like, if there was some sort of African American Hall of Fame for artists and rappers and all that shit, I'd be totally cool with that. But, and not saying that this is a race deal, but I'm just saying, like, they don't deserve to be in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame where there's, legitimate rock bands that have more importance to their genre and possibly the industry than most of these people that, are considered to be rock nowadays. It just, I can't believe that the fucking, whoever made the decisions to put some of these people in, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me, dude. Like, and look at all the fucking metal bands that they snubbed. Motorhead, probably one of the most famous metal and or rock bands to ever be in the industry. They're still beloved to this day since Lemmy Kilmister's death a couple of years ago, which still I'm somewhat distraught by. I still can't believe Lemmy's gone. I mean, I miss that fucking guy, I really do. But, again, who else is on this list? Let me take a look. It's fucking infuriating. Pat Benatar, another great singer that's in the rock industry. Like, how do you fucking snub this woman? Like, honestly. Judas Priest, they've been getting snubbed for years. Again, one of the most famous metal bands in the fucking industry and in the fucking world. Selling out stadiums and arenas and festivals all over the world. The metal god, Rob Halford. And you snub them. Again, for like, I don't know how many years in a row now. Soundgarden. They have more of an impact in the music industry and the grunge industry than any of these fucking, or most fucking people that are on this list. Like, again, T-Rex, I don't know who the fuck they are. I'm sure they have some importance to the industry or have had some really good songs. I don't know who the fuck they are. I've never heard them before this list came out. Who else is here? Fucking Thin Lizzy? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little personal bias to this one because The Boys Are Back in Town is to me one of the greatest rock songs to ever be made. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That alone puts them in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. And to think that they are snubbed out of the Hall of Fame, I guess I could forgive it because I feel like they're going to be in eventually, but still, I don't necessarily agree with them not being in it now. I mean, Jesus Christ. And Dave Matthews Band. Now, I'm not a big Dave Matthews fan guy. I'm not a fan of their music, but I'm not going to deny the impact and sales that they had on the rock industry. And they were actually leading the fan vote. Like, there was a fan vote for fans to pick who they wanted to be in the Hall of Fame. Dave Matthews Band was dominating that poll for a really long time, and I think they actually won it. I'm pretty sure they won it. And for some reason, they're not on the actual inductees list. That's mind-boggling to me. Like, what the fuck is the point of a fan vote if you're not going to put the winner of the vote into the Hall of Fame? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't, and it just goes to show, like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, it's like saying this old bullshit tone, or this old bullshit saying that I've been hearing for the last couple of years, that rock and roll doesn't sell anymore. Because even, like, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame isn't the only fucking, group to fuck this sort of thing up. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, before the start of the new decade, Billboard put out a list of, like, the greatest rock and roll songs of the decade, or some shit like that, or the year. And, half of it is, like, Panic at the Disco, or, like, maybe a quarter of it's Panic at the Disco. The other quarter of it is Imagine Dragons. And I was watching this video by a guy named Anthony Fantano, a.k.a. The Needle Drop, for some of you guys that may follow his stuff on YouTube. Great guy, very knowledgeable about music and all that shit. Highly suggest you guys check him out if you're into that sort of thing. But he was, basically saying the same shit. Like, what kind of fucking list is this? Like, for, this wasn't his exact words, but the tone of the video was like, what the fuck is this? Like, half these guys, if not all of them, aren't even considered rock. If anything, a lot of these bands and groups and singers are more pop-based than anything. So it just goes to show that it's, once again, reinforcing this bullshit that rock and roll is dead, it doesn't sell, blah, 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 all that garbage that I've been hearing for the last couple of years, when I don't think any of it is fucking true. I think rock and roll still does sell. I mean, I think the problem is a lot of bands that have talent and a lot of bands that have really good songs, for instance, guys like Alter Bridge, and a few others. There's a couple of new bands coming out too, like this Mongolian band called The Who. They just basically made their first big break into the US with that one song called Uve 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 U. It's a really good song. Check it out. The Ashes to New Version is also very good. But regardless, like, there's all this bullshit that, like, people say rock doesn't sell, blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, if you put, good bands on the radio, that might help, boost sales. Instead, they just the radio just plays all this top 40 garbage, and bands that could be discovered and, that people might want to listen to, like, they don't put them on. Like, I don't understand this. It's really fucking frustrating as a fan of rock and metal to just see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Billboard, all these fucking, people that make these lists and these decisions to snub true rock and roll and metal bands from making taking their rightful place in the Hall of Fame, or taking their rightful place on some sort of top 10 or top 100 list of like important bands or songs of the decade. It's infuriating. It really is infuriating. And as someone that works in the radio industry, and as someone that wants to work specifically in like the rock and roll area of the radio industry, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, because I don't want to be that fucking guy trying to hype up some fucking pop rock song and, pass it off as rock. Because it's not rock. It's fucking pop. I don't know. That's my fucking rant for the day, guys. I'm just really infuriated by what I've been seeing over the last couple of weeks with all this shit with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and other things. It's just, let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Follow me on all the social media stuff you see down in the description. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Peace out. And fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.